Doherty leads in the Libertines, or that guy with the nasty drug hat. Tell it like it is, here's Wendy.
Good to see you here, Peter. I could have used you in 2016, seeing as you were the subject of my talk, stalking Peter Doherty. Anyway, you all know how much I've contributed to science over the years, and I think I've actually used up all my science-ness. So I'm going to talk about a couple of stories that have happened to me 20 years apart, and my friend Kerry actually prompted me to first go in the Doherty variety show because she said, "Wendy, you tell a funny story, so I hope it's funny for you." Anyway, even though I'm not a scientist, I do like writing, and I'm in a writing club on Facebook where the person that runs it puts out prompts, and you've got to respond and to the prompt. Anyway, I read one in the last year, and it reminded me of something that happened 20 years ago, and it said, "Tell a story where you were the arsehole in the story." And anyway, and I may well have been banned from a certain retailer, Big W, because both incidents happened at separate Big W stores. Now, the one going back 20 years, it was Christmas time at High Point, and God forbid, I don't know why, but me and my husband and our 3 kids, plus one of my kids' friends, had to do some shopping, and the mayhem of High Point at Christmas. Anyway, we go in the store, and I had something to do. I can't even remember what it was, and I said to Stefan, "You take the kids to the toy area, and I'll get what I have to do, and we'll go." Right? And anyway, so that was that. He walked off, and I'm sort of about to do what I was doing. And then next minute he comes back with my son Connor, who's now 24, so he was in nappy still. He goes, "Wendy, he's had a shit. Can you take him and change him, right? Like he can't do it with all the 4 kids with him." I go, okay. So anyway, I've got him. Stefan goes back, and I'm holding him, and I'm thinking, okay, we've got to get out of the store. Next minute, a golf ball-sized turd drops out of his nappy onto the floor in Big W, right? And I've got him, and I'm like, oh shit, literally. And I'm thinking, oh my God, right? And I look at it, and I was thinking of that song, "Can You Kick It?" And I'm thinking, I'm too scared to kick that because it might be soft. So, mind you, this all happened in an instant. So, imagine, my mind's going a million miles an hour. And I'm thinking, I've got to get something. I thought of kicking it under the dress rack or whatever. I can't do that, I'm a bad person. So I think to myself, I've got to get some, plastic bag, something to clean it up, right? And I put Connor down. Probably the wrong thing to do. I put him down, and I go, "Mate, just stand there. Mummy's got to, get some stuff." And he's standing there like this, and I run off, and lo and behold, Big W has totally changed their whole layout of the store. And I couldn't, when you're under pressure, I couldn't think, and I'm thinking, and I'm going like this. And he's seen me do this, like, and anyway, I finally get a plastic bag, and when I come back, I see that someone has stood in it and done a big skid mark on it. And I'm like, oh my God, right? So I pick him up, and I run out of the store. Like, I can't deal with this, It's a big skid mark all over the floor. Anyway, I go out, and anyway, Stefan comes out, we get in the car, and I'm dying laughing. I'm thinking, oh my God. And I couldn't help but think, from the other person's point of view, someone that day was walking along, doing their shopping, and has slipped on this shit. And initially you would look down and think, it's chocolate ice cream or something, and then you get the smell, and then you're thinking, oh. And I was wetting myself laughing about that, but I was thinking, they must be thinking, what dirty dog takes a dump in Big W? Who does that? And anyway, I went home and I took the kid that was my daughter's friend back to her mum, and I'd never met the mother before. And she says to me, oh, how was your day? And I said, that was pretty good. And I told her, and like, we were just dying laughing, like we couldn't. Anyway, getting back to the story where I wrote this story on Facebook, the point was that I was the arsehole because I left that mess on the floor in Big W. And anyway, I had this vision. My mum's just passed away, but was in a nursing home. And I had this vision of me being in a nursing home when I was about 80. And the person that was on the receiving end of that shit, is sitting in the nursing home telling me, oh, years ago I was at and some dirty bastard shit, and I got it on my shoe, and I'm like, oh my God, that was me. Actually, no, that was him, because Connor was visiting me in the nursing home. He was about 50 years old. Okay, no, blame him. But yeah, I can't get past thinking about how there's someone out. I've told this story so many times over the years. My friends call it the Big W story. I love it. And I think, but there's someone else out there that is the other side of that story, and one day it is going to come back and bite me on the bum. But yeah, so that's the first Big W story. And so after that happened, some of my friends, they always reckon shit happens to Wendy, right? Things happen all the time. And they bought me a survival kit for my future trips out, like nappies, white, as if I didn't have those things anyway, but I just wasn't quick enough on that day in the midst of the panic to, Anyway, so fast forward, last Christmas, I ring up my husband who's retired. I ring him up and I say, I'm going into the city. I'll meet you at Big W. I've got to get something, right? And he goes, yeah, right, okay. And I go to the one, I think it's in the QV area. And I go down, I'm looking, and I don't find what I want, whatever, and I sort of got the shits. I'm going to ring him. And I don't know why I had this thought bubble, right? But I don't know if anyone's been there. It's a real arsey way to get in and out of that place. So I enter the store via the escalator in Latrobe along Star Street, and you've got to go all the way through the whole store to get out. Anyway, I'll finish what I'm doing, and I'm too lazy to go out the normal way, and I get this thought bubble that I'm going to run up the down escalators out of the store, right? Because I used to do that all the time when I was 10. Anyway, I don't know why, but so I've got it in my mind, and I'm standing there, and I'm looking at the escalator, and there's this man, an employee, and he's sweeping near the escalator. He's sweeping. I'm thinking, move out the way, I want to go, right? And he looks at me, must have sensed me. He goes, can I help you? I go, no, right? And then he keeps doing that, and I'm thinking, I've got to make a run for it when there's no one up there. And anyway, I see it, there's no one there wanting, going to come down. I'm thinking, here we go, right? And I made one fatal mistake, right? I forgot that when I was 10, I usually started at the bottom and just put my foot on and then ran up. But because Mr. Janitor was in my way, I thought, I'm running up and I'm going to take a jump onto the escalator, right? Anyway, I take a jump, and I didn't take into account that the step goes down like that. So I've gone like that, and I'm thinking, yep, I'm going to land there, and then all of a sudden, I've fallen, right? I'm at the bottom of the escalator. I'm thinking, I'm going to get shredded here. I'm at the bottom, right? Anyway, do I get up and get off the escalator? No. I'm determined. I get up and I start running. I'm going up. And I didn't realise how big those steps are. They're quite high. And anyway, I'm running, and then I look up, I'm about halfway up, right? I'm nearly there, and I look up, and there's about 8 people standing at the top, waiting to come down. And I see them, and I go, oh, what? Come on. Like, I was annoyed, like, I'm not bloody, you can come down. And with me doing that, I fell again. So I'm there, in exactly the same spot, like halfway up the escalator. I get up. Do I go back down? No. I'm nearly there. So I start running. Again, and I'm nearly there. And I've got to say, I was stuffed. I was absolutely stuffed. I had nothing left, right? So I just go like that and go down, right? And when I get to the bottom, Mr. Janitor is looking at me like, okay, you win. And I start walking out, and of course I have to walk out the way I was meant to go out, meaning walk through the store and go out. Well, and anyway, I'm walking, and my hand's bleeding. I've got a sore hip because I fell twice on the same spot. My hand's bleeding, and I'm thinking, oh shit. And I'm near the cosmetic section, and I see one of those, what are they called, loofah things that I was just about to put my hand in there to wipe the blood off. Once again, I'm an arsehole. And anyway, I feel this tap on my shoulder. Someone taps me on the shoulder. And I look, and it's this guy, and I recognise him as one of the ones that was up the top of the lift when I was trying to get out there. And he goes, oh, excuse me. He goes, I just wanted to tell you that those steps, they're for coming down. Not for and I look at him, I go, is that right? Really? Oh, thanks for that. You know, I was really rude and pissed off and it hurts him. So I keep walking, and I'm, about to walk out the store, and there's a security guy. I think, fuck me. And I go to take a step around, and he goes like that in front of me. And what I reckon's happened is Mr. Janitor has run ahead and said, there's this old bitch that's stolen something. she's trying to make a runner. Get her. So he goes, can I look in your bag? I go, yeah. And you know how they usually just go like that? He opens my bag, and I reckon his head could have fit in it. Really looking for something. And he goes, you can go. So I leave, right? And then I've arranged to meet my husband upstairs. And as I'm walking out the way you're meant to walk out, I get up the top and I see some chairs and I'm sitting down and I just start wetting myself laughing. I'm bleeding, I'm sore, but I think it's funny. I'm thinking, fuck, I would have liked to have seen that. I would have died if I had seen it, right? And anyway, I'm sitting there and he's coming towards me and he goes, oh, what's happening? And I started laughing and he goes, what's so funny? And I told him what happened. And he looked at me and he goes, what the fuck were you thinking? And I go, what do you mean? What do you mean? Everyone does that. He goes, no, they don't. I don't do that. And I go, yeah, but you're not an athlete like me. And he was really furious. He goes, Jesus, Wendy, I've retired this year. My plan is not to wheel you around in a wheelchair for the rest of my days. He goes, you need help. You really need to see someone. That's just ridiculous. And I was just like, like really pissed off, like you can't see the funny side. Anyway, my friends, the same group of friends from 20 years earlier, they hear the story, and we reckon this is where I got the name for the thing, potentially viral. is that there's got to be footage. There's got to be footage. So you know how you see all those memes of people falling down escalators and that? Have a look out for me. I'm wearing a cap, but it's got to be out there. And yeah, so that's my 2 stories. And happy birthday to the Doherty.